Leo had never liked basements. Cold, dark, and always full of strange sounds. He avoided them whenever he could. But after inheriting his late uncle's old farmhouse on the edge of town, he had no choice. The lights upstairs kept flickering, and the power box was down below. He sighed, grabbed a flashlight, and went down the creaky wooden steps. The air was musty, and dust floated in the beam of light. Old boxes, broken chairs, and rusty tools filled the corners. He stepped over a fallen shelf and found the power box on the far wall. As he reached for it, his foot hit something hard. It wasn't a box. Leo knelt and brushed away some dirt. A piece of metal stuck out from the floor. It was smooth and strangely warm. Definitely not normal. Curious, he pulled harder. The floorboard cracked, revealing a hidden compartment underneath. Inside was a silver plate with glowing blue symbols, unlike anything he had ever seen. He whispered to himself, "What is this?" Before he could touch it again, the lights went out completely. Suddenly, a soft humming sound came from the metal plate. The air in the basement grew warmer, almost like something alive was waking up. Then, it happened. A faint light shone from the wall. A crack formed, and a hidden door slowly slid open. From the darkness beyond, someone stepped forward. It was a woman, but not human. She had soft, pale blue skin, gentle violet eyes, and small, elf-like ears. Her hair was silver and flowed like silk. She wore a torn, metallic suit that looked half-armored, half-suit. Her movements were slow, as if she had just woken from a deep sleep. Leo dropped his flashlight in shock. The woman looked at him calmly. "Don't be afraid," she said softly. "I am not here to hurt you." Leo took a step back, stunned. Who are you?" She placed a hand on her chest. "My name is Virel. I come from another world. I need your help." Leo blinked. "This has to be a dream." She tilted her head, confused. "This is very real. I am hiding. Your world was the only place left." He looked at the strange wall behind her. "You were hiding in my basement?" "Yes. This place was chosen many years ago. Your family had no idea. Until now, it remained locked." Leo's mind raced. Aliens? Hidden doors? Secret technology? In his uncle's house, it was too much. Still, the woman didn't seem dangerous. In fact, she looked tired, scared even. "What do you want from me?" he asked. Virel took a step forward and sat slowly on an old chair. "I am being hunted. My people. They want something I have. Something they cannot be allowed to find." Leo stayed near the stairs, unsure. She looked up at him. "I offer you a deal, human. Let me stay here safely for 7 of your days. In return, I will give you something your kind has never seen, something that could change your entire future." Leo's heart was pounding. "Why me? Why this house?" Virel looked serious now. "Because I studied your species. You are unpredictable, brave, and you're not afraid to do the impossible. This house has old energy lines. It helped hide my signal. But now, it's weakening." Leo stared at her for a moment. "What happens if I say no?" he asked. Virel didn't threaten him. She simply answered, "Then I leave. But I will not survive long, and what I carry will be taken by those who will use it for destruction." There was a long silence between them. Leo had no idea what to do. But deep down, something in him said this wasn't just about hiding someone. This was something bigger, something that might matter to more than just the two of them. He looked at her again. Her eyes were tired but honest. 7 days, he said slowly. "That's it?" She nodded. 7 days, I promise. After that, I'll be gone. And you'll have your reward." Leo took a deep breath and finally stepped away from the stairs. "All right," he said. "You can stay." Virel gave the faintest smile. "Thank you, human." And so, the deal was made. Leo didn't know what the next 7 days would bring, but one thing was clear. Nothing about his life would ever be normal again. The next morning, Leo woke up early. He hadn't slept much. His mind kept going back to the strange events of the night, the secret basement door, the alien woman named Varel, and the strange deal they had made. He walked downstairs with a mug of coffee in hand and slowly opened the basement door. "Still, there?" he called. "Yes," came the soft reply from the shadows. Leo walked down the stairs. The basement was quiet, but it didn't feel as lonely anymore. Varel was sitting on a blanket he had brought her, studying something from her wrist device. It looked like a mix between a watch and a small computer. "You sleep okay?" Leo asked. She looked up at him with a faint smile. "Your planet's air is heavy, but I'll adjust." Leo sat on an old wooden stool. "So, now what?" Varel turned her device toward him. "We have to make sure I stay hidden. They are already looking for me." Leo frowned. "Who's they?" She paused. "The Arkan Dominion. My former people. I was a lead scientist for them. But when I refused to finish building a weapon, I became a target." Leo leaned forward. "Wait, you built weapons?" "I built ideas," she replied. "Machines that could change battles. But when I learned what they wanted to use them for, I ran." Leo could see the pain in her eyes. He didn't know what to say, so he stayed quiet. Varel stood and walked over to a box he had brought down. She opened it and pulled out a thick blanket. "Thank you for this. I know it's not easy trusting someone like me." Leo scratched his head. "Well, you haven't tried to melt my face or take over the world yet, so that's a good start." She raised an eyebrow, not understanding the joke, but she smiled anyway. The day passed slowly. Leo stayed close to home, telling his neighbors he was cleaning the place up. He even ignored a few phone calls. He didn't want anyone visiting, unexpectedly. That night, they ate dinner together in the basement. Leo brought down canned soup and some bread. Varel sniffed the soup. "What is this?" Leo smiled. "Tomato soup. Not very advanced, but it's warm." She tasted it carefully. Her eyes widened. Strange, but pleasant. After dinner, they talked more. Varel told him about her homeworld, Zarathus, a planet of crystal cities and floating towers, a place once full of music and knowledge, now ruled by fear and weapons. "I was born into duty," she said. "But when I saw what the Dominion truly wanted, I ran. I took something from them, something they will never forgive." Leo looked serious. "What did you take?" She didn't answer at first. Then quietly she said, "A device. A living map. It knows the paths of secret colonies, places where rebels still fight back. It also responds to human minds better than our own." Leo stared. "Why?" "I don't know yet, but it chose this planet. And your house. I followed its signal here." Leo felt goosebumps on his arms. "You're saying something alien chose me?" "Not just you," she said. "Your kind. Humans are unpredictable, dangerous in ways we never expected. That's why the Dominion feared even the idea of your kind reaching the stars." Leo laughed nervously. "We're still trying to get decent internet in half the country." Varel looked confused. "Internet? Never mind." Suddenly, a light flickered above them. Varel's eyes snapped upward. "What's wrong?" Leo asked. She checked her wrist device. There was a scan. Brief. "Someone's looking for alien signals nearby." Leo stood. "From space?" She shook her head. "No. Ground level, someone close." He swallowed. "How close?" Varel turned off the glowing part of her device. "A few streets away. We must be careful now. They could have agents here." Leo looked at her, more serious than ever. "Then we hide you better." She gave a firm nod. "Yes, and soon I will show you what I brought. You must decide if you're truly ready for what comes next." That night, Leo blocked the basement door with a heavy shelf and placed old boxes in front to make it look untouched. Upstairs, he couldn't stop thinking. Aliens, a secret war, A device that could change everything, and all of it was right under his house. He lay awake in bed, listening to the wind outside, and he knew this was only the beginning. 2 days had passed since Varel revealed herself in Leo's basement. The house was quiet, but the air always felt heavy, as if something important was just around the corner. Leo checked the backyard for the 3rd time that day. He looked at the sky and saw nothing strange, but he still felt watched. He walked back inside, locked the doors, and carried 2 bottles of water and snacks to the basement. When he entered, Varel was standing near the wall where the hidden door had first opened. She wasn't just waiting. She was doing something strange. Lines of light circled around her hand as she pressed it against the wall. "What are you doing?" Leo asked. She turned to him. "It's time I show you the real reason I'm here. The deal we made. It's not just about hiding. You deserve to see what you're protecting." Leo set the bottles down. "I've been waiting for this." Varel stepped aside and a small panel opened in the wall, revealing a silver container. She reached in and gently pulled out something wrapped in a cloth. She slowly unwrapped it. Inside was a cube, smooth, metallic, and about the size of a soccer ball. Glowing lines moved across its surface like tiny rivers of light. It pulsed, softly and slowly, almost like it was breathing. Leo stared. "What is that?" "This," she said, "is the last of its kind. A living star map. We call it the Path Core. It contains data from hundreds of systems, rebel hideouts, ancient ruins, even forgotten planets. The Dominion destroyed all others. This one survived because it chose me." Leo took a step closer but didn't touch it. "It's alive?" "In a way," she said. "It responds to thoughts, emotions, and memories. But it doesn't fully respond to my kind anymore. It rejects us. We believe it was built by an older race, one that knew humans, or something close to your kind." Leo looked at her with wide eyes. "And it reacts better to humans?" "Yes. That's why I came here. You're not just helping me. You're the only one who can unlock its full power." Leo felt nervous. "What happens if I touch it?" "It won't harm you," she said, "but it will connect to your thoughts. It may show you things. Memories not your own. Star charts. Feelings. You must stay calm." Leo hesitated. Then slowly, he reached out and placed his fingers on the cube. At first, nothing happened. Then the lights on the cube brightened. It grew, warm under his touch. A gentle hum filled the room. Suddenly, Leo's mind was filled with visions. He saw stars spinning, galaxies unfolding, ships flying through light, planets covered in green fields, others burning in fire, and voices, dozens of voices, whispering in languages he didn't know but somehow understood. He stumbled backward and fell to the floor. Varel rushed to his side. "Are you all right?" Leo blinked and held his head. "I saw everything. Like I was falling through space, and something was showing me where to go." She helped him sit up. "The core connected with you. It accepted you." Leo looked at her. "So now what?" Varel carefully placed the cube back in its cloth and set it in a metal box that sealed with a quiet hiss. "Now I must protect you more than ever. If the Dominion knew the core has chosen you, they would come for you. Not just to take the cube, but to erase you." Leo's heart sank. "That bad, huh?" She nodded. "They don't fear weapons. They fear symbols. If a human can control ancient power, the galaxy will see your kind differently." Leo stood slowly. "So we can't let them find out?" "No," she said. "We must stay hidden. But soon, you'll need to choose." Leo looked at her. "Choose what?" Varel's expression turned serious. "To remain here and forget all this, or to step into the stars and fight for more than just your planet?" Leo stayed silent. He didn't have an answer yet. But something inside him was already waking up. something brave, something curious, something ready. That night, Leo placed extra blankets and food near Virel's sleeping spot. He didn't know what would happen tomorrow, but now he knew. This wasn't just a deal anymore. It was the beginning of something much, much bigger, and he was right in the center of it. One evening, Leo was fixing the kitchen sink when he heard a strange buzzing outside. He wiped his hands and looked out the window. 2 small drones hovered near the garden, their lights scanning everything carefully. His heart skipped a beat. He ran to the basement door. "Virel, they're here!" She was already at the hidden door, checking her wrist device. "Drones! The Dominion has sent scouts to search for me." Leo grabbed a heavy metal rod from the workshop. "What do we do?" Virel's eyes shone with determination. "We prepare." She pulled from her pack a small box filled with strange tools and devices. Together they began setting traps around the basement stairs and the entrance to the yard. Leo asked, "Are these traps dangerous?" "Not to you," Virel said. "They will stop the drones and any who try to enter." The buzzing grew louder, outside. The drones moved closer, their sensors scanning the ground and walls. Suddenly one flew toward the basement window. Leo moved quickly and slammed the window shut just before the drone touched the glass. The drone crashed to the ground, disabled. Virel nodded. "Good. But more will come." Leo's hands shook. "I didn't sign up for this." Virel smiled faintly. "You didn't. But you're brave. That is what makes you human." The drones retreated briefly but returned with backup, 2 armored figures standing behind them. Leo's eyes widened. Alien bounty hunters. "They are here," Virel whispered. Leo's mind raced. He had no weapons except the metal rod. Virel activated a small device. The basement lights flickered and went dark. A low hum filled the air. "We fight," she said. The 2 bounty hunters entered cautiously, scanning the dark room. Leo held his breath. Suddenly one lunged toward the stairs. Leo swung the rod, hitting him on the arm. The hunter growled and pulled a stun weapon. Virel moved quickly, using a strange energy pulse to knock the weapon from his hand. The fight was short but fierce. Leo dodged and swung at the second hunter, surprising himself with how fast he moved. Virel used strange glowing wires to trap one hunter's legs, pulling him down. The basement was filled with noise, shouts, crashes, and sparks. Finally, the hunters retreated, leaving behind a broken drone and an open scanner. Leo panted. "Is it over?" Virel looked at the scanner. "For now, but the Dominion won't stop. They want the core, and me." Leo sat on the floor, exhausted. "Why me? Why am I even involved in this?" Virel sat beside him. "Because your courage is rare. You fight when you have no reason to. You protect even when you are scared. That is what makes humans special." Leo looked at her. "I just don't want my life to be ruined." She smiled, gently. "Your life has changed, but maybe it's for the better." As the night grew quiet, Leo felt a strange bond growing between him and Virel. They were no longer just human and alien. They were partners in a battle much larger than either of them. The next morning, Leo repaired the broken window. He looked out at the quiet street, wondering how long the peace would last. Virel was already in the basement studying the cube again. "We need allies," she said. Leo nodded. "Maybe I can help. I have friends in town, people who trust me." She looked hopeful. "Good. Trust is rare in these times." Leo thought about the coming days. Danger was near, but so was hope, and he knew that together they could face whatever came next. Days passed quietly, but the weight of danger hung over Leo like a shadow. Every sound outside made him jump. Every knock on the door made his heart race. Yet he stayed strong, for Virel and for what he did not yet fully understand. One evening, after a simple dinner of bread and soup, Virel sat across from Leo in the dim light of the basement. "It is time," she said quietly. "You need to know the truth." Leo looked at her, curiosity mixed with worry. "What truth?" She took a deep breath. The reason I came here is not just because I was running from my people. It is because of you. Leo frowned. Me? Why me? Varel's violet eyes held his gaze. Because your blood is special. He blinked. My blood? Yes, she said. Your kind, humans, have a hidden gift. Long ago, your ancestors mixed with an ancient alien race. That is why you can survive things no other species can. Your mind can connect with the Path Core in ways others cannot. Leo shook his head slowly. I don't believe that. Virel smiled sadly. It is hard to believe. But true. She reached into a small pouch and pulled out a thin metal band covered with glowing symbols. This is a bond ring. It reacts only to your DNA. When you wear it, it will help you unlock the Core's secrets. Leo hesitated. And if I don't, then the Core will remain a mystery. The Dominion will find me and you may be caught in the war. Leo looked down at the ring. It pulsed softly with light. I never asked for any of this, he said. Virel leaned forward. None of us choose our fate, but we choose how to face it. Leo felt a strange warmth spread through his chest. Something deep inside was waking. Okay, he said finally. I'll wear it, but I want to know everything. No secrets. Virel nodded. Agreed. He slipped the ring onto his finger. It felt cool, then warm, as if alive. Suddenly images flooded his mind. Stars burning, ships moving silently, faces of people fighting for freedom. He gasped, pulling his hand away. Virel placed her hand over his. The bond is strong. It will guide you. Leo took a deep breath. So, what happens now? She stood and looked toward the hidden door. Now we prepare to send a signal. The Path Core can reach the rebel colonies if activated. But only with your help. Leo's heart pounded. Signal? Are you sure that's safe? Virel smiled faintly. Nothing in this war is safe, but without hope, we lose. Leo stood too. Then let's do it. The following day, Virel and Leo worked together to connect the cube to an old transmitter in the basement. This will send the signal to the rebels, Virel explained. They will know the Core has chosen a human. Leo watched the machine hum and glow. Are they our friends? He asked. Yes, rebels fighting to stop the Dominion's cruelty. Leo's hands trembled as he prepared to activate the signal. Remember, Virel said softly, this changes everything. With a steady breath, Leo flipped the switch. The transmitter sent a strong pulse into the sky. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a response. A short message, sent back from a hidden colony. Leo. Read aloud, we see the signal. The human is ready, help is coming. Virel smiled with relief. It worked. Leo turned to her. So, help is coming. What about the Dominion? They will come, Virel said quietly. Faster than we expect. That night, Leo lay, awake, feeling both fear and hope. Virel sat beside him. You are not alone, he looked at her. Why did you trust me? Because you chose to help, she said, even when you didn't know the truth. Leo smiled faintly. Maybe humans are more than what we think. Virel's eyes glowed softly. You are the edge of a new beginning. And deep inside, Leo knew her words were true. The days passed faster now. The quiet in Leo's town felt like a calm before a storm. Every moment was filled with waiting and preparation. Virel worked carefully with the Path Core, studying its light and sounds. Leo watched, learning what he could about the alien device that had changed his life. One evening, Virel said, It is time. Leo nodded, feeling both nervous and ready. He followed her down to the basement where the cube sat on a small table. Remember, Virel said softly, this will open the path for the rebels, but it will also show the Dominion that Earth is involved. Leo's fingers trembled as he reached out and touched the cube. The lights on the path core brightened, filling the room. With soft blue light, the walls seemed to disappear, replaced by stars and distant galaxies. Leo felt a connection in his mind, visions of hidden star systems, secret routes, and alien worlds. He gasped. It's beautiful, but so much. Virel placed a hand on his shoulder. You are stronger than you think. Suddenly the lights dimmed and a message came from the cube. It was a signal, a call for help that reached deep into space. Outside, the sky was clear and dark. Suddenly, a faint glow appeared in the distance. A small fleet of ships hidden among the stars responded to the call. They heard us, Virel said, voice full of hope. Leo smiled. The rebels will come. But then, a warning. A deep sound echoed outside. A large ship was entering Earth's orbit. The Dominion had found them. Virel looked serious. We have little time. Leo stepped forward. What do we do? We prepare, she said. Together, they moved quickly, hiding the cube and setting up defenses around the house. Leo felt his heart racing. For the first time, he was not just a man on Earth. He was part of something greater. A war for freedom. The ship above grew closer. Powerful beams of light scanned the ground, searching for signs of alien technology. Leo and Virel held their breath as the beams passed over the house, but did not stop. Not yet, Virel whispered. They are cautious. Then, suddenly, the ship sent a message, a voice filled with cold authority. Virel, surrender the path core and come with us. Leo clenched his fists. Not a chance. Virel stepped forward, her eyes glowing with power. You will not take this from us, she said firmly. The ship's beams moved closer, but before they could strike, a burst of energy shot from the basement windows. Leo and Virel watched as a group of small ships appeared in the sky. The rebel fleet had arrived. They fired at the Dominion ship, forcing it to retreat. Leo smiled wide. We did it. Virel nodded. The rebels are here. Earth is no longer alone. The battle was not over. But the first victory was theirs. As the rebel ships moved to protect the planet, Virel turned to Leo. Thank you, human. You opened the stars for us all. Leo looked up at the sky, feeling proud. He was no longer just a man with a strange alien in his basement. He was the human who had changed the fate of the galaxy. The days after the rebel fleet arrived were filled with change. Leo's world was no longer quiet or simple. His small town buzzed with strange new energy, and the night sky was alive with alien ships and distant lights. But inside his house, the basement remained a secret, a place where the past and future met. Virel stood near the hidden door, watching the stars through a small window. Leo joined her. What happens now? She smiled softly. Now I prepare to leave. The rebels will keep Earth safe for now. But my mission is done. Leo's heart tightened. You're really going? Yes, she said, but I will return. She reached into a small bag and pulled out a device no bigger than a watch. This will keep us connected. When the time is right, I will come back. Leo took the device, carefully. I won't forget. Virel's violet eyes shone. Neither will I. Suddenly, Leo's communication device beeped. It was a message from the rebel fleet's leader. Leo, Earth's place in the galaxy is no longer a question. You have opened the path. Your courage is a light for many. Be ready. The future is coming. Leo looked at Virel. Looks like this is just the beginning. She nodded. The stars have chosen you. Your kind has a place now. Leo smiled, feeling proud and hopeful, but that night, as he lay in bed, a shadow crossed his thoughts. The Dominion would not forget. A bounty had been placed on him, the human who opened the stars. He wasn't just a man anymore. He was a symbol, and with that came both danger and hope. Weeks later, Leo sat in his garden, the small device glowing softly on his wrist. He looked at the night sky, filled with new stars and new possibilities. He thought about Varel, the Pathcore, and the secret they shared, and he knew one thing for sure: Earth would never be the same. Because now, humanity had a place in the stars.